So that's Eloise mailing stuff in.
There's only, just those two.
Hi, FM.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Working hard here.
What's everyone else up to?
Yeah, man, we're just working hard. We're hardly working. Now we're going to walk you around, take you on a tour. That's the master bedroom right here. Oh, yeah. And there's the bathroom over there. And then we're working on that. We're working on the attic right now. So we're trying to get the borders in. See those borders right there? Alright, we're trying to get those borders in. Here's everyone else. Still working on windows. How you doing?
We're doing alright.
Doing good?
We're doing alright.
That's Kevin over there. Doing pretty good. Yeah, pointing right at your head. Yeah, there's Kevin. How's it going? How are you, Rachel?
Rachel's sing a song, Rachel.
Sing a song.
Right now?
Come on. Break it down.
Just give it
a
little taste of home. Like you were in the
My favorite part of the day is finally working outside, getting to enjoy the weather.
My favorite part of the day was painting doors with Joy. We had a good time out there. It really went by fast. And my least favorite part of the day was peeing and stepping on the ant, the fire ant hole. But I noticed it before anything got too intense. Had a great day. Couldn't have gone better.
I had a good day, Ron. I feel like we were very productive today. We got a lot of work done. I had a nice sandwich, which was good.
Favorite part of the day was the garage, like all the baseboards and getting that roof or
Unsupervised.
unsupervised.
What?
Supervised. Edit that.
The second week, we moved into the Lower Ninth Ward with an organization called Common Ground. They do a lot of different stuff. It's kind of different from the St. Bernard Project in the sense that they focus not only on like housing redevelopment, but wetland restoration as well. So a lot of our time was spent planting trees. Some groups went to City Park and planted like a mini demonstration version of what a wetland should look like for educational purposes to bring kids there. So it was kind of different to see the different efforts that go into rebuilding New Orleans. It's not just houses, but it's the environment as well.
Big difference between there and St. Bernard. Now Lower Ninth is kind of like in the city but away from the city, and it's kind of its own separate little island type of thing, and it takes 2 bridges to cross over the canal, which was man-made, to get there, which was different. There's just lots, or a porch, which used to lead to a house, but there's no house, it just leads to grass. Like it was very different to go through that, just to know that that place used to be so densely populated, and the fact of, how it looked, it was really sad. Also to hear certain facts from certain people, like Tanya Harris, she was saying how there was about 13,000 people before Hurricane Katrina hit, before the flood hit, and now there are currently 3,000 who have moved back to the Lower Ninth. It sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. And especially compared to St. Bernard, where there's 14,000 compared to 3,000 who moved back, and just showing one section doesn't have as much help as the other.
But in terms of the things that are really important and crucial are like things like health care that are right of return issues. Housing and health care and schools are things that are critical for people's return, particularly poor people who depend on the public school system, public health care. And in the case of our brothers and sisters who lived in public housing, those public facilities. And so when you destroy public housing, as the city did, And if you allow HUD to come in and tell you what kind of investment or disinvestment it's going to make in your city as it pertains to poor people, then you mean to say that you're not going to allow poor people back. If you take out the public health care system, you mean to say you're not going to allow poor people back. If you don't restore public schools, you mean to say, this is all just language. This is a roundabout way to say, go your poor ass away and stay away. We want a different caliber of people. And that's what you're seeing. And that's why the lag of return exists.
The water there got up to about 20 feet, which is scary because most of the houses are bungalows and they're flat on the ground, flat.
The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that the Lower Ninth Ward has one of the best elevations of any area in this city. Geographically, we are not low. The area you're standing in, what is that, Roman? Oh yeah, this is at sea level. Do you know there are neighborhoods in the city that are 6 feet below sea level? I mean, there are neighborhoods that are really, like low, like really have low elevations. Our problem is not our elevation. We never flooded during any heavy storm. The problem is the levees.
You're in the area where the barge went through the levee?
Yes.
And caused most of the damage?
Yes,
So just behind there?
yes, right down, let's say about a mile down.
Has anyone ever taken responsibility for that? Or you have any, did they ever say who owned the barge that crashed through?
They say who owns the bar, but like I said, it's in court now, and it's going to be a while before they can even get to that, to that point. So they're fighting for us.
It takes about 12 weeks to completely build a house with the St. Bernard project from start to finish. And when we were working in one of the houses with Common Ground, a group of girls from Michigan were looking around and going, this looks really familiar. I think we insulated this house back in February. And from February, and we were there in May, and nothing had been done. As soon as the insulation was up, they had just stopped. And we were the next group in putting the drywall up. So the process, the time process of completion is vastly different. It takes 12 weeks with St. Bernard Project, and it takes months upon months with Common Ground. While we were working with the lower9.org, we worked with this one particular lady named Jeanette. Her house was taken away by Katrina, totally destroyed, and since that time, since she came back, she's been slowly working on trying to rebuild her house, and it's been 4 years, and I guess it took her all that time to do the foundation and the framework, and just now, after 4 years, we're just getting the drywall together, the insulation together, and that just goes to show that like a lot of these people who are in the lower 9 are facing the same problems. It's taking them years to get supplies, and you just like the volunteer work and the funding to get their homes put together compared to the St. Bernard Project, who is getting a lot more funding, and people are getting their houses done in like 11, 12, 13 weeks, like just not that long at all.
Of course, volunteering in New Orleans isn't only rebuilding houses and wetland restoration.